Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I feel like it's been a minute you saw me in this background. Please forgive me, life has been lifing. I'm gonna sound like a Gen Z and just say it that way because I assume everybody at this point gets what that means, gets what that slang means. So anyway, today's a get ready with me video. It's a video I haven't done before because this is not a beauty channel. I do know a thing or two about beauty and I might be incorporating this every now and then, but this is not a beauty channel at the end of the day. So what you see is what you get. The makeup is not going to be perfect. Whose makeup is actually perfect? Well, there are people, but I might be looking away because trying to focus on the makeup and still stay with you guys at the same time. It's just going to be a simple makeup. I'm stepping out with a friend, and if there's any sound interference, it's the AC. It's a hot day, hot girl summer. Today, while doing my get ready with me, while getting ready, I will be talking about manifesting. It's a very common word nowadays. People be like, I manifested my dream life, I manifested my dream job, I manifested my dream husband, anything. I will be talking about manifesting, but that will be in regards to me and my career so far. Keep watching. So guys, please forgive me if this video is chaotic because I've actually never done this, doing my makeup while recording. It's going to be in multiple ways, I promise you, and as well as the topic, because I'm talking from my own experience. It might get to different parts of people. It might be emotional for some people they might just be like But anyway, I just want you to keep that in mind while watching this video. This is not me saying you only have to manifest or you don't have to manifest. It's a scriptless video. Basically, I'm just talking from within. So let me start my makeup without talking too much. I will not really talk much about the makeup. If you like it, then I can do a dedicated get ready with me and talk about the products, but just keep a good eye. I use Fenty Beauty foundation and primer, so I will be starting with those. Okay, so the first thing is, what is manifest? What do we mean when we say we're manifesting something? I'm going to look up the dictionary so that I'm not talking from my own knowledge. I'm gonna give general knowledge. As manifest, an adjective, means clear or obvious to the eye or mind. The systems manifest feelings. That was the example they gave, but it's commonly used as a verb. So the verb means display or show, in bracket, a quality or feeling by one's acts or appearance. Demonstrates. So the example was, Ray manifested signs of severe depression. And growing up being schooled and everything, in education, that was how they taught us manifesting. And I'm a Christian, so I'm going to also be talking as a Christian and say that, they also used to say people manifest spirit, when people when they catch spirit in church and things like that, and they're manifesting, but right? That's just what I'm going to say. But it is a thing where people say, oh, they manifested their dream life, they manifested their dream job. So what I want to kind of understand is, did they just, because what I see when people say those things, I've not watched a video where they fully talked about it, okay, how did they manifest it? I know some people have those videos, but I've not really seen. The few that I've seen, and people just say oh, if you act a certain way, if you pay attention to certain things, then it manifests into this. For example, they'll be if you only roll with certain type of men, you're manifesting the kind of husband you want, and you end up marrying those kind of men. Those are things I'm talking about. But I feel like it's more than that. At least it should be more than that. And I said I was going to use my career as an example. So I'm just going to start just give a little bit of background. I studied computer science and information technology as my first degree. And later I did a master's. When I say later, it wasn't that long after. It was a year and a few months after. As a Nigerian, you do NYSC and all that. So after NYSC, I went and got a master's. I did it in the UK in software engineering with management, and all my life, like as a child, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. Like I was fascinated by computers, so I knew that I definitely wanted to be in tech. So all that time, it wasn't like coming to me like, oh, you're just doing this, or you're just like trying to manifest. Like it was just what it was, right? Generally, as a child, as a human being, they ask you what you want to be, and then you start working towards it. If whoever is asking you, let's say your parents don't like it, they'll start pushing you in a certain direction. But that's another topic. In fact, my whole masters, my whole everything will be another topic, like probably in another video, sharing my experience as an international student. But anyway, back to the whole career thing. So when I was done with my masters, like coming back to Nigeria, then I mean, you needed a job offer for certain. Like you definitely need a job offer that will sponsor your visa to enable you to stay back in the UK, else you just have to go back to your country. And I mean, I was fine with both. If I got a job that would keep me back, I would stay. I mean, I definitely tried, because people usually ask me that question. Or didn't you like it there? Didn't you want to stay? Trust me, I tried. I definitely wanted to stay, and you're not being targeted. If they don't sponsor you, you're not being targeted, I promise you. They will just much rather pick someone that they will not have to spend that much money on, who is just as good as you. So you have to be exceptional for them to do that. And some companies have slots, so if they have the slots, they would go the extra mile for you. So yeah, I got back, and you know, the whole Nigerian tale, or well, the whole graduate tale of looking for a job, that started. I soon discovered that it's not just, I mean, it wasn't like I soon discovered, it was kind of something I knew. It's not easy to find job anywhere. It's no, I know that sometimes people look at it like it's better outside of Nigeria, but it's still not easy, right? So I go back to Nigeria, and I found out, okay, you still have to work extremely hard for this. Having the qualifications and all that, and having the plans is not enough. So I applied, I did many did whatever it was I needed to do, like in terms of promoting myself and advancing my skills. And then in the midst of all that application and all that interview and everything, at the time, I must add that I lived in Port Harcourt. I didn't like the offers I was getting there. Like the money was less, so I had to go to Lagos. I was traveling to Lagos for like interviews and whatnot. It was stressful, but it was still kind of fun. It was an experience. And in doing all of that, the company reached out to me one time, and luckily I was in Lagos at the time. They reached out to me, and it was a startup. I didn't really understand it, but when I went for the interview, I got to know what they were doing and all that, and okay, I smashed my interview. You know when yourself, you say you don't try. I did, yeah. And they made me an offer. They even said I need to, because I told them I wasn't based in Lagos, but they said if I could travel immediately and come and resume. So I just told them I needed like a week or whatever, and I did that. I moved. Please, is this story getting too long? Anyway, I'm still in the beginning phase of my makeup. I'm kind of enjoying it though. Yeah, okay. So I did that, and I started working for that company. This was 2018. Yeah, so 2018 was the time I returned back to Nigeria and the time I started this job. So I would like to add that this role was for technical support. It wasn't a software engineering job like I wanted, but all the same, I felt like, okay, it's still a good job. It's in tech, the pay was good, everything, new experience. I will show these people my skills so that they can upgrade me. You know, that's what you need. That's what you need for a starting point. Some people feel like they need to wait till they get exactly what they want, which is good and fine, but I didn't see it that way. So anyway, I'm just going to fast forward. No need to talk too long about the job. I was at this job for almost 2 years. But anyway, after the first year, I started looking at it like, okay, yes, this is indeed not what I want. I need to move. And what I've always wanted in my heart was a remote job, a job that would let me work from anywhere. For some reason, I've just always liked that. Let me get back to my makeup. Let me not get lost. For some reason, I've always liked that, like from, I want to say a young age, but I mean, when we were younger, is not, or rather when I was younger, I don't know everybody's age, but I can speak for myself. When I was younger, such jobs are not common, but I always knew that that's what I'd prefer. when I did my IT while I was a student, I didn't like going to the office, so I always wanted a remote job. And if it's foreign experience while you are in Nigeria, while you are at home, then brilliant. Like in my head, it just made sense. It was perfect. It was my kind of thing. So yes, I've always wanted that, even though I've not started like actively like praying for it yet and telling God that, oh, please make this move for me. I just actually what I said was I need 3 years of experience, so that when I apply I'll be like, I just felt like I needed to perfect my skills more, let me put it that way. Using lip balm. Yeah. So I just felt like, okay, I'm not where I want to be yet, so I can't start looking for that. I can't start praying for that. This is NARS, yeah, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And so as much as I was like, oh God, I need 3 years of experience, so that there will be no excuse, there will be no you don't have enough experience, you don't have this, that, so that even me, because I'm the kind of person that I'm my biggest critic, let me just put it that way. I'm the kind of person that will be telling myself, this is why you do not get it, this is why, like, I won't even wait for the companies to tell me about it. I'm already in my head saying all those things. So I felt like if I do this, I'll be ready in 3 years time. But Mercy said no. After a year there, I started applying to jobs. Like I was applying to remote jobs, I was applying to like local jobs. I think I've explained a bit of this on Onyeka Asamaka's channel. I don't know if by the time I'm posting this video her own will be up, because when I talked about my career it sounded very straightforward, but there were these pit holes, there were these parts that I didn't quite talk about because it's a long story. But for the sake of this video, I'm even just trying to summarize. So because many things happened, there were reasons why I felt like, okay, it's time to leave this place, and I just started applying basically, right? Got a lot of rejections, I mean, of course, who doesn't? And I just kept, like, I continued at it. I'm like, okay, who doesn't get rejections anyway? Like, were you expecting at the first job you applied to, you get that one? I mean, even this one, this wasn't the first job you applied to, you didn't even apply to it at all, right? So yeah, so it continued like that until, like I said, it was almost 2 years I had worked there. It was like maybe a year and 6 months, please, or 4 months thereabout. But anyway, that particular month that they reached out to me, anyway, this was in COVID, yes, so that means I had worked there like a year and 4 months, I think. This was when we were about to enter lockdown. This was March 2020. A company in the US reached out to me, and they're like, oh, this, that. Apparently, like, I had applied all those times I was applying, I had applied to them before and you turned me down. So they were saying like, this is not what you applied for before, this is not, probably not even what you would want, like in terms of salary, but this is what we're offering and all that. You just need to do like the interview. And I'm like, okay, sure, like, because just when I was applying, which is what I'm talking about manifesting, when I was applying all those times, I felt I wasn't ready. I told myself I needed 3 years, and this is what 1 year 4 months, because I felt like I hadn't gotten to the point where I needed to where I could access this blessing, let me put it that way, right? I don't know, I feel like I might be getting to the spiritual point, but it is what it is. It is actually what it is. This is not just, this is definitely not of my making. This is not, like, sometimes you feel like you yourself, you can't do this thing, which is why there are many things that we need to step out of ourselves to be able to do, to be able to have access to, but we don't know it. So yeah, so I did that interview, whatever they said I needed to do, and voila, I got the job, and I am still working there. This is what, 2023, 3 years after. Okay, is it the best job in the world? No, but it is, like, it was something I never knew I needed. It was a wonderful, and it has still been like a wonderful, like a really lovely place to work and everything. So yes, now I'm going to go back and talk about like why I even started talking about this topic in the first place, which is manifesting. So many times we look at things and we feel like, oh, I should have done this by now, or I'm not supposed to do this yet. But who are you really to talk about like your own timeline? I've always wondered that. Is our timeline in our hands? Really think about it. Yes, I know that some people look at things logically. I mean, I try to be logical, but at the same time, as a Christian, I'm mostly spiritual. I understand that my life has never been in my hands, so who am I to step into a position that hasn't been given to me divinely? So yes, when you are manifesting, are you also praying? That's something I've always wondered about. Like when people talk about manifesting, like, are you also praying, or is this just you walking in that path on your own? Is this just you walking? I'm sorry about the interruptions. It's because of the makeup. But anyway, yes, are you just walking in that path alone, feeling like, oh yes, I can manifest, I can act this way, and this thing will just happen, it will just fall in line accordingly? This is not me saying it doesn't happen. I'm still trying to understand. Please leave comments for me, explain if you have questions for me too about my job and things like that, about like how to be prepared to step into the job role that you want. Yes, things like that. If you have questions for me, even about this topic generally, or if you want to discuss, if you want to correct me if there are areas that I am wrong, please do, because this, as much as this is me talking and sharing my story, this is also a discussion, because there are things that I could learn as well. So yes, so while you're doing all your manifesting, while you're talking up what you would like to be, while you're making those connections and everything, are you also praying? Are you also working towards it? Or are you just feeling like, oh, because I'm manifesting it, because I know that it will happen, it's going to just be immediately, it's just going to be me manifesting it and it will happen? Like I said before, please, I'm not bashing anybody, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works, it has worked for people, but I'd still like to know, because God might tell us something, right? He might even press something on our hearts that, oh, God can tell you that, oh, you're going to be a millionaire. But as far as you know, that's all you know. That is all you know. God can even give you a timeline safe. Like, I mean, his ways are not our ways. He can even tell you that at so age you're going to be a millionaire. But that's not the end of the story. You don't know what you need to do. You don't know many things. And you just said, oh, because you know you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to live large, you're going to live loud, because you know that God has already said it's going to happen. It's not true. It's not so. You need to calm down. You need to watch out for what he wants you to do, because when he tells you things like that, you should ask him the right questions. I promise you. It's never here and there with God. It's always straightforward. We just don't know it. Sometimes we don't know how to access those things. Sometimes we don't even know how to access God. I mean, look, even with that I'm here talking, trust me, which is why I'm giving you my story, because like what I thought was going to come from me later came earlier. And then if you've also watched the video about me talking about when I was supposed to relocate to Canada, I relocated in 2022. I thought I was going to relocate that 2020. In fact, I felt max 2021. That was something I thought was going to come earlier. It came later. So no matter how much you want to manifest something, or you want to walk in something, it is not the right path for you. And it might also be the right path, but not the right timing. God is not a magician. That's an important point I want us to bear in mind. We can call things to happen for us. Yes, we can call things into existence, quite alright, which is, I mean, the manifesting that everybody talks about. But at the same time, these things are not magic. They take a certain degree of work and faith. They really do. They really do. I've seen it happen that way. Also, you cannot blackmail God. I feel like I've tried that. I know it sounds funny, and God please forgive me, but I feel like I've tried that because sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we just say, but God, you said this thing, God, you showed me this thing, God, you did. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. He might have said it, he might have shown you, and all of that, but you can't actually force his hand. You can't. When it comes to my brows, I use a very light hand, and I'm using Beauty First. It's actually like, should I say, a local brand. I mean, I don't know if it's in any other country, but that's where I get my brows done here, and so I just bought their product, and it's super good. It's really good. I'm using Revolution Pro for my blush and bronzer. So yes, some people usually would tell me, like, when they hear this my story, they'll be like, oh girl, you were just lucky, or there's something you're not telling us. Okay, I mean, good and fine, like, it's normal to have doubts, but I'm also not going to say I didn't prepare myself for these things, like I said, which is why I reiterated the fact that I was also applying. As much as I was reached out to, I was also applying, which means I was also prepared. Like, I never for one day just left myself in the position of I won't do anything and these things will just come to me like that. Like I said, has it happened for people? Yes, things happen daily that we don't know. There are sources that we can't explain. I mean, we wouldn't say God is a miracle working God if we could understand him like fully. His ways have never been our ways. I'm not doing much for my eyes. I am using this is Rimmel London. I don't know, like, I really hope you guys can see all this. This is Rimmel London mascara that I will be using. One size Till Dawn mattifying setting spray. This one I'm going to brag about it because it's a very good product by Patrick Star. And Patrick Star, one thing about Patrick Star, makeup is always like, you just know. I'm not going to talk too much. It's really good. I can spray that much because you don't even feel it. Like, you literally don't feel it. It's just like, it's like air on your skin, but it does its job. It stays on all day. So guys, I will set my face like with powder and put on my wig and come back and conclude this video. Okay, so I'm done with that. I mean, please tell me my makeup and my hair is on fleek. Just tell me that. Anyway, I'm about to head out. Let me not keep my friend waiting. Let me go and have some fun, catch some sun, and I will see you in my next video. Tell me what you think about this video. I'm really just trying to say that I do believe manifesting works, but I don't believe it works in isolation. You have to put in some work, and you most definitely have to have some level of belief. Things will not always happen when you want them to. They could happen earlier, they could happen later. We've seen so many instances, which is why I use myself as a point of reference. And I also came in from the spiritual point. However you want to look at it, logically, spiritually, whatever, just know that yes, you can manifest things into happening for you, but you also need efforts. Even if it's monetary, even if it's support from people, whatever it may be, there is always that effort that needs to be added. Let me know in the comments what you think. You can even add some more pointers for me. Share this video. I'm sure many people will want to also add in their opinions. You can don't forget to subscribe. That's the key thing here. join this family. I'm loving you guys already, and I'm so grateful for the love so far. I post regularly, so turn on your notification bell. And if you have career related questions, that's like in tech and software engineering, things like that, you can always send me an email. I'll always be waiting for you. I will see you in my next one. Thank you. That is from mango.com online. And see, do your checks immediately you get something, because this dress is torn in more than one place, but I'm still going to rock it. I paid for it. I'm going to rock it. It's torn in, well, I mean, it's the belt, so it's not like it's an obvious place, but it's torn in 2 places. Mango.com, I love you, but people, you wanna do this one,